Alright, so back another video, back another reaction, backslash, let's talk about it. So we're back with some more Max Power 24/7. He talks about LSU a lot. He might be the one unbiased LSU scout. This will cost LSU women's basketball their championship. Now, if I said before, I feel like LSU will be fine, but we also gotta look at it from the other side of the coin. I don't know if I asked you guys this question before, but imagine if LSU loses next year. Like, say they lose. Bro, it's gonna be up on social media, I promise you. It's gonna go crazy. Cause y'all gotta think, right? They win a natty. Everybody's basically a millionaire, right? Angel Reese, you can't see me. She getting all the Hall of Fame badges now. I just seen her last vid. I seen her in that blue dress. I'm just saying. It's stuff like that that make me look at her a little bit different. You know, like I said, that's big little sis, but that dress is a little tight. I'm just saying that. You feel me? Anyway, let's go and get into the stuff.
The LSU Tigers are undeniably
That dress was crazy.
one of the best teams in women's college basketball, led by Angel Reese. With the additions of Haley Van Lith and Anissa Morrow, many people consider them a super team. Some people would go as far to say they will repeat with low difficulty. However, I don't think it's
I
that
said
simple.
that. He probably watched my vid. I did say that.
If you watched my other
I said
LSU
that.
video, I mentioned that I will go further in depth in Haley Van Lith's and Morrow's deficiencies. I will do that
And
in
I
this
said he's unbiased.
video.
He's the one
But I will
unbiased
also
scout.
go over weaknesses LSU has as a whole. First off, there's no proper replacement for Alexis Morris. She was a true point guard
Right.
and was the leader of the team. She was the only player who had played for Mulkey for multiple years and could be an extension of her on the floor. There's many people who erroneously
was
think Haley
hooping.
Van Lith is not only a replacement for Alexis.
What to say, LSU Tigers? The defending champs begin next season where they ended this one at number one. The recent addition of Van Lith, the top accurate Traps reporter, pushes the Tigers past UConn for the top spot. The production and leadership that left with Alexis Morris is potentially back with Haley Van Lith as she pairs with.
But a direct upgrade. This is not true at all. Haley Van Lith is a shooting guard, not a point guard. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. If you think
I can
Haley
see
Van
that.
Lith is a point guard, you clearly didn't watch her play at Louisville. Haley Van Lith
Her games wasn't on TV either. Let me see. Assists per 40 minutes, 3.5 turnovers for. So she just 0.5 off of the turnovers. Yeah, that's a lot. You can't have all these turnovers, but hopefully she clean it up.
averaged
Because as you see hers,
more.
this is Alexis Morris, had 5 assists and 3 turnovers. Hers was 3 assists, 4 turnovers.
Turnovers than assists. She averaged 3 assists and 4 turnovers.
Gotta clean that
Alexis had a
up.
positive assist to turnover ratio. Haley's three-point shooting dropped under 30%, which we will get into later. However, the biggest hole in Haley's game is her defense. Her on-ball defense was so bad that Jeff Waltz ran a zone 24/7 to hide her. The few times he didn't, Haley got exposed badly. Countless
That's
guards had put
crazy.
20 or more on her during
See, that's what happens when you just an offensive threat. Your defensive badges, they kind of
the
low.
season. The analytics
Perimeter
back this up
defense low
too.
when you're an
Her
offensive threat.
defensive win share and defensive rating are not very good. Alexis' defensive stats are significantly better in comparison. Van Lith is a better scorer than Alexis, but she doesn't do the other things that are key to winning. If LSU wants to repeat, Haley has to get better at defending and become a better passer. LSU's post-player situation is also questionable. LaDasia Williams was an important piece to the team, and she was a true center. She saved LSU during the Utah game and outplayed Angel Reese during the Iowa game. LSU has no true centers on the team, except for incoming freshman Alia Del Rosario. I apologize if I mispronounced her name.
Aaliyah Del Rosario's.
This won't hurt against most teams, but bigger-sized teams like UCLA and South Carolina will feast inside. Angel Reese is a great player, but historically struggles against players bigger and stronger than her.
That's
Anissa
what I'm
Morrow
saying.
is
You gotta get in that weight room. You feel me?
also undersized.
You
Players
gotta get
like
in the weight
Lauren
room.
Betts, Cardoso, and Aaliyah Edwards will feast, if they match up against LSU. Maybe Kim will make massive improvements to her game in a short amount of time, but Rosario doesn't seem ready to me. Another problem is, who do you bench for her?
Yeah, because this team is star-studded. I was thinking about this too, like who's coming off the bench? Who's gonna have to take one for the Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, because LSU did a lot of recruiting. They got a lot of top players, so I don't know how this gonna go.
We know for
Starting. No, for a fact, the Stars is not coming off the bench. Haley Van Lith came here to start, and so did Anissa Moros. You know?
a fact that Haley and Angel Reese will start.
Yeah, it's facts. They starting.
So if Kim wants to start Rosario, that means there's about to be a very unhappy player.
Yeah, like I said, Anissa Moros, she averaged what, 30 and 12? When we watched her highlights, she looked like Kawhi and Jimmy Butler. She didn't come to LSU to come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, somebody gonna have to. That's the thing too. They recruited her too, the Michaela. Yeah, 'cause she didn't. Yeah,
Anissa Morrow didn't come to LSU to come off the bench.
it's fact.
Flau'jae started all last season, so I don't think she will be okay with being benched for players who weren't there when they won the chip,
Exactly.
especially for unproven freshmen.
Yeah, so then Flau'jae, she got to get her handles up. She got to get her vision right. Cause if she gonna be running a one, cause he said in the max, he said, and Haley Van Lith is really a two. So that means Flau'jae has to be the one. So yeah, as a freshman, you kind of know what you're signing up for when you come to a team like this with Flau'jae and Haley and Anissa Morrow. Now everybody's pretty much taking Michaela's position.
So does Kim bench Michaela Williamson's and risk a Lauren Betts situation?
Yeah, 'cause she's a top recruit, chat. Like she played at the Slam. I remember her from Slam. She played for Team USA. And I remember her at McDonald's All American game. She didn't come to LSU really to come off the bench. She couldn't went anywhere else. But then again, it's kind of like what you signed up for to come to a team like this too.
In simple terms,
I guess it's gonna be the freshman taking one for
Kim
the.
is either forced to go with an undersized lineup, or she's going to be forced to bench a high.
What should they do? It's gonna have to be look. Yeah, it's gonna have to be this down here. It's gonna have to be because they can run this as a second team, as like a mixing up the five, but this bottom team gonna have to be the starting five. Yeah, so Flau'jae gonna have to get right. She gonna have to really be a point guard for this team because as he said, Haley Van Lith has a high turnover ratio for a guard. And Nisa Morrow's not coming off the bench. But she could have went to USC or UCLA and been starting with no problem. She came to LSU to win a natty. So she's not coming off the bench. Angel Reese is not coming off the bench because she's the millionaire of the team. She's the star. She's the one everybody comes to see. Just like John Morant. John Morant is suspended. So John Morant is suspended, so Memphis sale's not going to be high till he gets back. Angel Reese is the star of the team, so if she's not starting, then who are they here for? Probably Flau'jae, right? But they here for Angel Reese, so she's gonna be starting. They gonna have to start the Del Rosario.
high level
It's
recruit.
gonna have to be this bottom
I
spot.
don't think either scenario is very favorable to LSU's chances. Let's get into Anissa Morrow a bit more.
Bro,
Anissa destroyed the Big East
y'all
Conference,
adding me on.
averaging 26 points and 12.
Why y'all adding me on Epic Games right now?
Either
We are talking about basketball.
scenario is very favorable to LSU's chances. Let's get into Anissa Morrow a bit more. Anissa destroyed the Big East Conference,
From
averaging
Illinois.
26 points and 12 rebounds. However, the SEC is built different. With the
Okay.
exception of UConn, the Big East is very weak. Creighton and Villanova are decent, but they would just be a mid-level SEC teams.
They got
Villanova are
smoked.
decent,
God. They got
but they
smoked.
would just be a mid-level SEC teams. The rest of the teams are borderline trash. 6'1" is extremely undersized for a forward in the
Like
SEC.
this shit, bro. he's very much in tune as a
The
scout for
level of
LSU.
physicality is different
He's
as
very
well,
scouting
which
LSU
will
right
affect
now.
her inside game.
We don't have
This wouldn't
that.
be a
We have
big
a lot of yes men.
deal if she could shoot, but she shot a miserable 25% from 3 on over 200 attempts. To make matters worse, she isn't surrounded by any elite shooters to make up for it. As mentioned before, Haley's three-point shot dropped under 30%. Angel Reese doesn't have a shot 5 feet from the basket.
I told you, Chad, that's what she needed to become goated. She needed a jump shot. I'm telling you, Chad, if Haley Van Lith clean this up,
To make
right?
up for it.
She can't just be doing the Caitlin Clark. That's Caitlin Clark type shots.
As mentioned
Steph Curry.
before, Haley's
And a lot of people can't get away with
three-point
that.
shot
You feel me?
dropped under 30%.
If Angel Reese can make shots like this, it's over with. But I told you, if she can't make these shots, it's gonna be tough.
Angel Reese doesn't have a shot 5 feet from the basket.
She gotta make them.
But why does this matter? It matters because teams will be able to pack to paint, which will make it
They're gonna pack the paint and run a 3-2
significantly
or a 2-3,
harder for Angel Reese to rebound and score. That applies to the rest of the team as well.
forcing them to
I
shoot.
explained earlier that Haley Van Lith's defense is bad, but Anissa Morrow's defense isn't anything to brag about either. With her and Haley on the court at the same time, all the pressure is on Flau'jae and Angel to defend. High-powered offensive teams like UConn and Notre
How did I put this in NBA terms so people that don't understand? So that's like having Bradley Beal and Devin Booker as your one and your two, but it's leaving it to like Bo and like Aiton to play defense. That's kind of like what he's saying in my perspective. Cause Devin Booker ain't no defender like those. Like he's a bucket, but he's not a defender. Bradley Beal is a bucket, but he's not really a defender like that. So the way how he's explaining it is kind of like that in
Dame will absolutely exploit this.
Interesting.
Haley and Anissa played over 35 minutes per game last season. This will need to drop to 25 to 28 minutes per game to make room for bench players that are better and defending and scoring. The fans and boosters will complain, but it gives LSU the best chances of winning. Players like Poole and Poa are too important to cut their minutes for bigger named stars. It will be interesting to see if Kim Mulkey caves to the fans and boosters or uses nearly her whole bench like she did last year. This isn't something people think about as much, but juggling personalities and egos matters. Angel Reese, Haley
Said this, chat. Now imagine they do all this, right? It was chatting all summer long. Like no other team is in the lab. Chatting all summer long, saying they winning a natty. I have faith in LSU, but let's say if they lose, LSU loses to any team in that March Madness, it's gonna be up. I'm telling you. Big little sis, Angel Reese. I was unfamiliar with your game. I was unfamiliar with your game until now. You know what I'm saying? But you're getting fried. You better win. You feel me? Because if you don't, it's gonna be up. Haley Van Lith. She just gonna be the Brandon Roy of college. Like she's just a bucket, but just ain't gonna win. The Dame Lillard of college. She's a hooper, but it's not gonna win. Like I said, Anissa Morgan went to USC and played with Juju. She would have been starting day one with no problem. She went to LSU.
Van Lith and Anissa Morrow all have dominant personalities. When you have players who consider themselves the best in the country, it can be hard for them to sacrifice and adjust. Combine that with the fact Michaela Williams was the number 2 recruit in the country and Flau'jae Johnson was the SEC Freshman of the Year. Kim won't be able to please everybody. Between all these players, someone is going
That's what happens when you recruit an AAU team like
to get the
this,
short end of the
a
stick.
super team like
This
this.
could cause discourse. Don't be surprised when you see Angel Reese and Anissa fight each other over rebounds.
That's gonna be wild. I'm gonna be watching it too.
Angel Reese welcomes the additions of Haley and Morrow, but how will she feel when they keep chucking shots up, even ones that are bad shot selections? Remember how the Warriors love Jordan?
He's using my team as an example. That's why I had to get him out of here. He's a shot chucker and he's a munch. Now I feel cool because of how he looked during his Wizards You know, his debut with the Wizards or whatever, his media day with the Wizards. But we had to get rid of Jordan Peele. We had to. He was just he was doing a lot of M1 street ball moves that wasn't working. And he's a munch. He spent 500K on Ice Spice.
Keep chucking shots
He
up,
had to go.
even ones that are bad shot selections. Remember how the Warriors loved Jordan Poole? Then they turned on him. Don't
Exactly, because he started doing too much. That's exactly why we left him. That's why we turned on him.
be surprised
But when he was making them, it was cool. But when he's not making them, it's gonna be a fight. It's
when
a
the same
problem.
thing happens to LSU. I'm surprised no one has brought this up. But remember when Alexis Morris was catching heat for her WNBA comments? None of the players from when
What she say? The new generational wave. If you're knocking at 35, hang it up. And I mean wire hanger, hang it up. The vets gotta know when to get the net and pass the torch, bro. If we can't make roster spots for rookies, cut the vet.
Alexis Morris was catching heat for her WNBA comments,
Wow.
none of the players from LSU came to her defense. They did quite the opposite. Anyone else finds
They say they ain't saying nothing.
it weird how LSU
That ain't none of my business.
came to her
That's
defense?
crazy.
They did quite the opposite. Anyone else finds it weird how Angel and Flaujae stopped hanging out with Alexis after she got in some controversy? Angel and Flaujae were noticeably distant with Alexis during the
I didn't
White
even
House
know that.
visit, and they were nowhere to be found together during the ESPY Awards. Angel
She was hanging out with the Convender twins. Yeah, they might as well get ready for the WWE. Cause didn't they say they're not going to the WNBA? The only place they going is to Instagram models, OnlyFans, and the WWE. They might as well get ready. Royal Rumble.
and Flaujae don't follow Alexis anymore and never comment on her posts. What about when Flaujae
What?
Angel's house visit?
I thought they were sisters for life. What happened? Oh, so when y'all win, y'all sisters for life? That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. You know?
And they were nowhere to be found together during the ESPY Awards.
I didn't know that.
Angel and Flaujae don't follow Alexis anymore and never comment on her posts. What about when Flaujae got in trouble for her rap lyrics? None of her teammates took up for her.
Oh, I remember this. It was something with the 9/11 or something like that.
Everything seems good now, but the team was avoiding being seen with her until the controversy blew over. This shows the Stars have no problems throwing a player under the bus if it means protecting their image. I can at least understand the logic behind
And
not
you already know we done already did a video on them in
defending
image.
Flaujae, but
You did a video
excommunicating
on them,
Alexis just because she said some older players need to retire is ridiculous. The players subconsciously know other teammates won't have their back if they get in any type of controversy. This will cause
I mean,
chemistry
it's that, and it's also the other side of the coin with the controversy. They not trying to have social media start a whole uproar and things of that nature.
problems.
That's how most things are with social media now. They try to keep everything under the covers, under the rug, sweep it under the rug, like people don't know. That's what fan pages are for. The fan pages is gonna know before anybody else, if not the original person. So that's
The
crazy.
media is unknowingly aiding the destruction of LSU.
Dreams money can buy. LSU's NIL powered super team is exactly what college sports needs. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, if they lose, it's up.
How do you think
They got a
Anissa
lot of
feels
money.
about transferring to LSU just for the media to force feed Haley every 2 seconds? Anissa is barely even talked about in the media. LSU loves to hype up their Big Four, but if you look at their page, the posts are very disproportionate. For every Flaujae and Anissa Morrow post, you will see 10 Haley and Angel
Hey,
Reese.
he going to the ground?
LSU
This is a scout
loves to hype
scout.
up their Big Four, but if you look at their
Hold on. Let me make sure we good. We good? Alright, let's finish. Let's finish this video. Let's finish this video.
page, the posts are very disproportionate. For every Flaujae and Anissa Morrow post, you will see 10 Haley and Angel Reese posts. You will see this have an effect on the court. Anissa will try to overcompensate to get people to talk about her. This won't
Really?
make sense now, but just wait and see. Pay
Okay.
attention to how the media will cover Haley and Angel having a good game compared to other people on the team next season. Remember when the media force fed the idea that South Carolina was just going to cook every team and repeat with ease? How did that work out for them? They got humbled by Caitlin Clark. LSU will get humbled.
That messed up my bracket. Ooh, that messed up my dream game. I needed that rematch. LSU versus South Carolina. I needed that rematch, but It
too.
is what it is.
Pride comes before the fall. The season
It
hasn't
is
even
what it
started,
is.
and the media is hyping up LSU as some unstoppable super team.
Wow, Mr. JM12. I'm fine in the West.
Angel
He got smoked by the
Reese
Lakers.
made a fatal mistake during her speech. She had a Ja Morant moment.
And came to LSU, and I just joined the family. So I just want to say thank you, and another natty is coming.
Said this. I said this. I literally just said this. I said, bro, she did all the talking. Now, if they lose, just like how he said John Morant did, got smoked by the Lakers. If LSU lose, I can't wait to see what social media gonna say. Cause you can't flame John Morant, right? You can't flame John Morant. You can't blame Steph Curry. Flame him whenever anytime he lose, he gets flamed. You see what we do to LeBron and AD, but Angel Reese lose, she gets a pass. No, she can't get the same treatment. She can't get the pat on the back like it's okay. Like social media is gonna fry her if they lose because they're gonna bring up this vid.
Period.
If Angel,
All right, look, you feel me? You better win. That's all
she
I'm
had a Ja
saying.
Morant moment.
All right, big sis, you
And
better
came to
win. Big
LSU,
little
and I just
sis,
joined the family. So I just want to say
you better
thank you,
win.
and another natty is coming. Period.
All right.
If Angel thinks her team is just going to walk in and repeat, she is sadly mistaken. She just gave other teams
They got to earn it.
bulletin board material. Angel Reese and the media put a target on LSU's back. Every team will want to be the team that beat the so-called super team. While the LSU stars are
It's
making
like how they did
TikToks
my
all
Warriors.
day and partying, other players are quietly working. LSU has a lot of
Yep.
dogs on their teams, but there are wolves who will eat those dogs. You don't think Utah doesn't want another
Like that. I'm gonna steal that.
cracking?
I'm gonna steal that from Max, bro.
Other
I like that statement. He said they got dogs in their team, but they got wolves that will eat the
players are
dogs.
quietly working. LSU
Mhm.
has a lot of dogs on their teams, but there are wolves who will eat those dogs. You don't think Utah doesn't want another crack at LSU after almost
This the last bid. I said, bro, imagine if she would have made these free throws and not airball them and miss. She wouldn't even have as much coverage. But they barely just won. Barely.
beating them?
Wow. Yeah, they fiending for LSU now. Oh my goodness. Bro, I
How
know Utah gotta be fiending for a rematch. They gotta be. Because they would have probably no, they probably got smoked. But still,
hungry do you
they want a rematch
think
or something.
Notre Dame is after having their season robbed from an injury? Paige Beckers and UConn easily
Yeah, we need Paige to come back. We need more Paige vids.
have the firepower to
We need more Paige highlights like how she was in
blow up
Hopkins High
LSU.
School.
If LSU isn't careful, they will get embarrassed. You see colleges doing team summer workouts while LSU can't even get their best players in the gym. Haley is about to do another 3v3 tournament, and Angel is busy making paper.
Yes, facts. That's facts. She
Do
getting her
another
coin.
3v3 tournament, and Angel is busy making paper.
Yeah, this Max dude must have watched my vid, bro. I literally said this, bro. Said, how many times out of the week is she in the gym? That's all we want to know. We're not bashing nobody. We're not out here trying to make them look bad. It's just how many times out of the 7 day week is she in the gym? Because that 4 points she had in that USA game is not gonna cut it. She got to put up them wilt numbers. Yeah, most
Don't be
definitely.
fooled by the media. LSU has the strongest hype machine, but that doesn't mean they have the strongest team. They certainly won't have the strongest chemistry.
I can't wait till
I
next
imagine this video will have
next season. Well, I can't wait till next season.
varying opinions, so I would love to hear them. I appreciate everyone who took the time watching this video, even if they won't agree.
Like I said, man, I got faith in LSU, but they just gonna have to show. They just gonna have to show that they ready for a repeat. Cause Angel Reese last year, I believe, right? She's going to the league 2024. Yeah, they gotta win. They have to win. If they don't win, it's just gonna be up. I'm telling you. Social media is gonna be going crazy. But anyways, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Max 24/7, Max Power 24/7. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, I really appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in the next video, man.